Dear students, today I am here to explain inflorescence. Again, to explain inflorescence, in previous lecture or in previous video, I have explained inflorescence of solitary and racemose type. Now here in this lecture, I am going to explain cymose inflorescence as well as special type of inflorescence. Okay. Now, in cymose type of inflorescence, it's also known as definite inflorescence. It is also known as definite or determinate inflorescence. Determinate inflorescence. Likewise, in racemose type of inflorescence, that racemose type of inflorescence was also called indefinite racemose or indeterminate racemose type of inflorescence. And in cymose inflorescence, it's called a definite or determinate type of inflorescence. What this cymose or definite or determinate type of inflorescence is? In this type of inflorescence, the main axis of flower, which we call the floral axis. This floral axis, it terminates into flower. Okay. Now the lateral branches arising, these lateral branches arising and also terminates into flower, and this process continues. That's why this is known as this process continues by terminating the flower, and that's why a definite or determinate type of process. If we write, we can say that type of inflorescence in which floral axis terminates or condenses. Okay, floral axis terminates into flower, and branches arises laterally. Which again terminates into flower. Okay, and this process continues. Okay, this process continues. So cymose inflorescence is that type of inflorescence in which floral axis, which I have said, floral axis terminates into flower, and lateral branch arises. Lateral branch, which again terminates in flower. These again gives the lateral branch, which again terminates in flower. So this process continues. And it becomes definite because a floral axis, it terminates at point. It terminates into flower at point, and further growth does not occur. Likewise, in racemose type of, there was indefinite growth, but here is definite growth. So this cymose inflorescence, it has different types. Okay. This cymose inflorescence has different types. Like one first part, monochasal or unipattous. We can call this monopattous also. Monopattous. Number 2, dichasal or bipattous. And number 3, polychasal or multipattous. multipattern type of inflorescence. Okay, these are three types of cymose inflorescence. One is monochasal or unipairs or monopairs, dichasal or bipairs, and polychasal or multipairs inflorescence. Okay, now I am going to explain this monochasal, dichasal, and polychasal type of inflorescence. Okay, now we can take this monochasal. What monochasal inflorescence? In monochasal inflorescence, if we see, if this is floral axis, this floral axis, which I said in cymose inflorescence, what happens in cymose inflorescence? This floral axis terminates into flower. Okay, it terminates, and lateral branches gives rise. But in monochasal, this lateral branch, it pushes this axis towards one side, and this again it branches into lateral branch, it terminates into flower. Again this repeating again terminates into flower. This process continues. But if this process of terminating the floral axis occurs only in one side, then it is called helicoid monochasal cymose inflorescence. Then it is called helicoid type of inflorescence. Helicoid inflorescence. When it is called helicoid inflorescence, when the monochasal, when the terminal flower, when the floral axis terminates into flower, and this lateral branch arises only in one side. These are leaves. Okay, this lateral branch arises only in one side and it gets terminated into flower. This is called helicoid type of inflorescence, which is type of monochasal. Okay, and which is again type of cymose inflorescence. This example of helicoid inflorescence, monochasal. If we write monochasal has two types. It's of two types. If we write here, helicoid, and this is helicoid. Okay, and another is scarpoid, which I am going to explain. This helicoid type of inflorescence, when floral axis pushes. When this floral axis pushes the terminating flower, which are terminating into flower, it pushes towards one side and flowers are alternating only in one side. This is called helicoid. For example, if we take example of this helicoid, we can say Drosera, we can say Junica. These are the examples of helicoid monochasal inflorescence. In monochasal, the terminal axis, floral axis terminates into flower. In monochasal, floral axis terminates. This floral axis terminates into flower, and it is pushed by the lateral branch, which again terminates into flower. This again pushed by this branch is pushed by lateral branch. It again terminates into flower. When it occurs on one side, this is called helicoid type of inflorescence. Okay, and what scarpoid is? If this process occurs alternatively, suppose I will show you with this diagram. If this is a floral axis and if this floral axis terminates into flower, what happens? This lateral branch arises from here. Okay, it again terminates into flower. This lateral branch arises from here. It again terminates into flower. So these are leaves. In this type, the this floral axis terminates into flower alternatively on both the sides. When it terminates into flower alternatively on both the sides, this is called scarpoid type of inflorescence, and this is type of monochasal inflorescence. Okay, and if we take example, we can say, for example of scarpoid inflorescence, we can say Solanum nigrum. Okay, this was monochasal, which is of two types, helicoid and scarpoid. And what helicoid is and what scarpoid is, I have explained. And this is definition of monochasal type of. So in monochasm, the terminal of floral axis terminates into flower and lateral branch arises. These lateral branch arises again terminates into flower. If it occurs on one side, then it is called helicoid type. If it occurs alternately on both sides, then it's called a scorpioid type of inflorescence. Okay, this is monochasm. Now we will move to dichasal or bypass type of inflorescence. Now next one was bypass. Dichasal or bypass. Bypass type of inflorescence. What happens in this dichasal or bypass inflorescence? Again, I am showing here. If this is floral axis, okay, it terminates into flower as the process, but this arrangement, okay, it terminates into flower. Now, as per definition of cymose inflorescence, two lateral branches arises. It gets here and it gets here. Again, this gets condensed into flower, and here it gets again condensed into. See, this is bichasal. This floral axis, when it gets terminated into flower, it gives rise to two branches. Okay, and these two branches again terminates into two flowers. This process continues. These again gives rise to two branches. They again terminates into flower. They again terminates into flower. Here again the process continues. Now, if you see, this is dichasal type of inflorescence, and this remains old flower. Okay, because in cymose inflorescence, I have forgotten here. In cymose inflorescence, the arrangement of flowers are basipetal. Okay, basipetal. That means or centrifugal. Teacher. Okay, this is old. Okay, and these are young. These are young. Again, this becomes old, and these become young. This is dichasal type of inflorescence. If we write, we can again say here that we can say here. I will write some. The floral axis terminates. The floral axis terminates into flower and gives two lateral axis, which again terminates into flower in basipetal manner. Okay, and this process continues. This is called dichasal or bypass type of inflorescence. Okay, if we take example of this, we can say nyctanthes, clerodendron, jasmine, etc. Okay, this was dichasal or bypass type of inflorescence, in which I have explained how this flower gets terminated and these later branches arise, which again terminates into flower, again gives rise to these later branches. This process continues, and this is bypass or dichasal cymose inflorescence. Now we will move to polychasal inflorescence. Now, polychasal, third one. inflorescence. Best type of inflorescence. Again, this is flower, axis, floral axis, and it terminates into flower. Now, in bichiasm there was only two lateral branches arising from this axis, but here more than two lateral branches arise. Sorry, if this gets terminated into flower, it gives rise to, these are leaves, this gives rise to, and these again terminates into flower. You see here, these again gets terminated into flower, because this is definite type of inflorescence. Now, here more than two, this process continues here. It again gives rise to different, 4. This again gives rise to 4. Here it gives rise to 4. Here it gives rise to 4 or more. So, if this type of inflorescence occurs, this is known as polychasm or multiparous inflorescence. Okay, so at floral axis it terminates into flower, it gives rise to more than two lateral branches. When it gives rise to more than two lateral branches, these again terminates into flower, and when these floral axis, branch floral axis terminates into flower, they again gives rise to more than two, that means 4 or 5. Okay, it again continues. This process shows continuous, and this is polychasm type of inflorescence. Okay, if we write, we can say the floral axis terminates into flower, and gives rise to two or more lateral branches, which again, this is common language, I am writing here in common language, more lateral branches, which again terminates into flower by giving lateral branches, and this process goes on, it goes on continuing. This is polychasm type of inflorescence, and the best example is Calotropis. This is the best example on which we can explain this polychasm or multiparous type of inflorescence. So this was all about cymose type of inflorescence and its types: monochasm, bichasm, or polychasm. Okay, and I explained all that. Now I am going to special type of inflorescence. Now, special type of inflorescence. Special type of inflorescence. In special type of inflorescence, there are special structures. Basically, these are special structures which are in the form of flower, and through which particular organism enters, and that insect help us in pollination. Okay, what happens in special type? Suppose it's of different types. Number 1, hypanthodium. What hypanthodium is? This hypanthodium is, I will show you a structure. This is pore or ostiole. Okay, in this hypanthodium, this fleshy receptacle, it has fleshy receptacle and has pore. This pore gives rise to hollow structure, and in this hollow structure there are both male and female flowers present. Okay, male flowers are towards pore and female flowers are towards base. Okay, this is special type of inflorescence. In special type of inflorescence, what happens? It has this hypanthodium. It has fleshy receptacle. Which I am showing. This is receptacle. Fleshy receptacle. These are flowers. Flowers inside this receptacle. It has fleshy receptacle. Consists of pore at top and hollow cavity. Hollow cavity which possess both male and female flowers. Okay, which possess, it has fleshy receptacle consists of pore at top, this ostiole or pore, okay, or and hollow cavity, this hollow cavity, and it possesses both male and female flowers. And I have said that towards base there are female flowers and towards pore there are male flowers. Okay, both male and female flowers. And the best example is Moraceae family. Moraceae family, which includes fig, Ficus carica, banyan tree, peepal tree. Okay, this is the special type of inflorescence which occurs in Moraceae family. It has fig, banyan tree, and peepal tree. And in this special type of inflorescence, this has fleshy receptacle which has hollow cavity inside, consists of pore, and in this hollow cavity it possesses both male and female flowers. Okay, this is special type of inflorescence. Next one. Setting. What happens in Sethium, special type of inflorescence? It has cone-shaped receptacle. This cone-shaped receptacle it has cone-shaped receptacle which possess both male and female flowers. Okay, and this is female flower, and these are male flowers. Okay, in this fused bracket, green colored bracket, which has nectariferous glands. Nectariferous glands. These nectariferous and possess male and female flowers. Male flowers are pedicellate and female flower is also pedicellate with tricarpellary pistil. Okay. So in Sathium, this is special type of inflorescence. You are seeing this special type of, it has receptacle. We can write the receptacle is cone shaped or conical shaped. Consists of fused bracket-like structure. Bracket green colored structure having nectariferous glands. Okay, this has nectariferous glands and it possesses conical shaped fused bracket green colored structure having nectariferous glands and possess both male and female flowers. Male and female flower. But in this, male flowers are maximum and female flower is only single and is centrally located, and it has also long pedicel like these male flowers. These are also pedicellate type. These are pedicellate flowers which are coming out from this spore, again, and it has centrally located female flower, and this is Sathium. Okay, it is example. Its example is Euphorbia hereditae or Euphorbiaceae family. All the Euphorbiaceae family comes under the Sathium inflorescence. Okay, this was about Sathium type of inflorescence. Now the last one, which is vertical ester. Last one of this special type of inflorescence. This is vertical ester. Vertical ester type. What happens in this vertical ester type? This is floral axis. There arise these are leaves. This happens. Okay, in vertical ester flower, 3 to 9 flowers arising on opposite axial, on opposite side on this axial. And these are biparous, that means dichasal sign, and ends with monochasal or monoparous sign. This is special type of inflorescence which occurs in salvia. Okay, this is salvia. Okay, in vertical ester, it has 3 to 9 flowers. 3 to 9 flowers, cluster of flowers arising from action in opposite manner. In this type of influence, in vertical ester type, in such type, biparous gets condensed into monoparous and has bracket-like structures, which is known as invalicule. Okay, and has these bracket-like structures, originators, we can say, originating from bracket-like structures and base. And these are bracket-like structures which arise from this base. These are flowers, and the example is salvia ocimum. Next, these are the examples of this verticillation type of inflorescence. Okay, with this I am concluding here. The inflorescence, it has 4 types: solitary, racemose, cymose, and special type of inflorescence. Solitary and racemose I have explained in previous lecture, and cymose and special inflorescence I have explained in this lecture. Okay, this was all about racemose. Thanks for watching me.